Hey, you listen to the Waffle Press podcast. My name is Diego Crespo. I will be your host on this wonderful journey of all things Avengers, Age of Ultron related. And then we're going to sit back from superhero movies for a while because there's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about down the line. But Age of Ultron just came out. I have now seen it 3 times. I have a written spoiler and spoiler-free review available at audienceseverywhere.net. A quick spoiler recap review-ish thing that on our YouTube channel, so everyone check that out. Links down below in the doobly-doo. Again, this is the Waffle Press podcast. I'm super excited to talk about Age of Ultron because there's so much to say, and we probably won't even be able to finish our thoughts because there's like only an hour.
I know, there's so much
to talk about. Why don't first you guys talk about your names?
Oh, yeah. I'm Gene, and you could find me in the doobity-doo.
Yes, in the doobity-doo.
I'm Renee. You can find my podcast on undercitypodcast.com. Oh, no, it's undercity.podbeam.com.
Get your name right, boy.
I'm sorry.
You are not an Avenger.
No, I'm so excited about it. It's this episode. That's why.
I know. Okay, well, first of all, I think Age of Ultron is not a masterpiece, but I think it is one of the best superhero movies ever. I think it's a great movie with great ideas in it. It's got so much going on. It's very dense. Like from the last time we talked about it, when you guys hadn't seen it yet. Yeah, each frame is just so dense, you know?
So much going on.
The Jar Jar is the key to all of this. No, I mean, this could have been a Phantom Menace situation if you didn't have someone like Joss Whedon able to give his cinematic voice any weight in this movie, you know? Because this could have just been a producer's movie where it's like checklist, checklist. And I think to some people this movie feels like that. And I want to get the notion out of the way that, no, it's absolutely not. As a lifelong, or almost lifelong fan of Joss Whedon, this is pure Whedonisms. Like, he got his little tropes in there, like his Beauty and the Beast type story between the Hulk and Black Widow. You got his really dramatic moments. You get his character death. He loves them. Yeah. He says he doesn't, but I think he's a liar.
He said he got inspired. I shouldn't say aspects, but he said he wanted to do it like The Godfather Part 2.
Oh,
yeah.
So I was like,
where it's like it's a continuation.
Yeah,
but
I knew it was you, Hulk.
So much has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that idea a lot because it's like, you know, everything's like, oh, some people were complaining about how stuff happened in between the movies that we never saw. I'm like, doesn't that make it better? Like Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars, like the quintessential blockbuster sequel, did the same thing. It's like, oh, Han and Leia didn't have a relationship in the first one. Like, who? It's a fucking movie. You establish it now.
No, it was implied that Han liked her in the first one.
He gave a single line. He gave a single flirt.
Well, that's the same thing in Avengers. You know, they don't say anything, but you can tell when they look at each other, there's a connection.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be romantic, but there was a connection there. And I think, you know, spoiler alert, in real life, that's kind of how relationships end up happening.
Yeah, that's what happened,
I don't really know
with
what else to say.
Previous of my relationships, just awkwardly staring at a girl.
Well, okay, yeah. No. Oh no, but there was one person on Tumblr who put up this photo set. We'll get into the meat and the nitty gritty right now, but there's this really funny one where it shows the Hulk chasing Black Widow from the first one. They're like, wow, it looks like he's totally falling in love with her there. And someone was like, she's just playing hard to get.
Yeah. I like all women. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Get out. I'll find a new sound engineer. No, but anyways, let's just start talking about a lot. I guess what I love about this movie is that it's got so many ideas within it. You know, it's a superhero blockbuster that it has like this huge epic action. Oh, spoilers for everything, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. I'll put it in the title too. That there's just so much, like, it's making the Avengers question their place in the world as people, but also as what the Avengers mean. You get to see that through Tony Stark and Steve Rogers' interactions. Like, Steve's like, no, this is... The Avengers supposed to be different than S.H.I.E.L.D. We're supposed to be here. Like, the S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Where S.H.I.E.L.D. can't be there, we are here now. Yeah, we're Earth's mightiest heroes.
And they show how powerful they are.
Like,
as a team.
Yeah, and then Tony's like, well, like, isn't that the point of the fight so we could end the fight and go home? But then I think that's why their dialogue's so great, especially on the farm scene. It's like, neither of them is really wrong. They're just different people who see the Avengers as different things.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think Cap is more right, but I don't think Tony's entirely wrong, you know?
Cap's
like, Tony...
Captain's orders.
Tony is not a through and through hero. Yeah. He makes mistakes. Like, all he does is make mistakes throughout these movies, but that's what makes him such an interesting character. That's why people like him a lot. He's fallible. Captain America is not, but he's a great character because he is the hero that we all want to look up to. Yeah. Like, he's the quintessential good guy. He's the Avenger.
Yeah.
And I think some people will say that maybe they get sidelined. Maybe get sidelined a little bit emotionally, but there's they are the ones that help carry through the main ideas of the film, I think.
Yeah.
And then Ultron is just fucking...
Ultron was just
Ultron's
amazing.
fucking nuts. But we'll talk about Ultron all together. What do you guys think are some of the best ideas at play in Age of Ultron as a whole?
Okay.
I think it was a good setup too for Phase 3. You know, when you watch it, you know, you're not only just watching what's happening right then and there. You're watching what's going to happen later on.
Yeah.
You know, they're hinting at certain things. There's little homages to new characters. You know, Wakanda. They mentioned Wakanda, which was awesome.
They were in Wakanda.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was awesome. And then also to see, you know, new characters come into play. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were awesome.
Right.
I loved Quicksilver and Scarlet
Yes.
Witch so much.
You know, and
Hardly knew him.
and
Spoilers.
Yeah, it's spoiler discussion.
Spoilers, yeah.
Quicksilver dying was a huge bummer
It
I
was.
thought I know everyone gets all crazy about the Days of Future Past Quicksilver, but this guy's an actual character.
He is.
With, like, emotion beyond just like a Wally West ripoff.
No, yeah, and then he is in the comic books. He is an actual Avenger. You know, he's a reoccurring Avenger, if anything.
Yeah.
So to see him die, I was like, wow, okay, this is
Takes a different path.
Yeah. And it gives the finale some more weight. I think the finale as a whole is like fucking brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the similar plot beats to the first one, but plot does not a movie make.
Yeah.
It's about characters and ideas again. And so here it's like it's about proving Ultron wrong instead of just saving a billion. Yeah, they saved the planet and stuff too.
of course, yeah, they're the Avengers.
Yeah, they got to be Earth's mightiest hero somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes them like, can they prove Ultron right while saving everyone? And then, or can they prove him wrong? Excuse me, they don't want to prove him right. And so I think that gives it some weight. And then Quicksilver dying is a huge bummer, and it hit me more the second and third time I watched the movie. I was like, oh, that's sad. Like
When you did see it coming.
Yeah, when I did see it coming.
You did?
Yeah, by the second
You saw
time,
it coming.
because I mean, I heard he had died before.
Like you heard rumors, yeah.
Yeah, but then they're like,
okay.
oh, it was a previous draft.
Oh.
And then people saying like, no, they redid the, like, obviously they redid the draft. So I was like, I don't know if he's gonna die. And then I saw it, I was like, oh, that sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. And then it was funny too, because that the whole scene when you know, the whole death of Quicksilver, they kind of you don't get that feeling throughout the whole movie. You get the feeling that maybe Hawkeye might die.
They keep bleeding.
Yeah.
They did that purposely.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, we see his family. Spoilers, family. We see Hawkeye's family.
Right. It's like,
and
then you
they were
see,
totally setting that up for people
Yeah,
who didn't.
yeah.
and
Then,
like
then you
the
see
little-
like Hawkeye is like, oh, me and my wife are gonna leave the Avengers.
Yeah.
Gonna sail on a boat. It's called Live Forever.
and then you see, like, you
All
know,
those
his
tropes.
wife talking to him about, like, are you gonna keep doing this? You know, you're not like these other guys. And I'm like, no.
He's like Black. No, he's human like
Yeah.
Black Widow.
No. But I'm thinking in my head, you know, it's like, are they gonna kill him off? And then, you know, when that final scene happens where he's covering the child and, you know, the bullets are coming, you see Quicksilver, and I'm like, no. And then boom, you just see the car, and I'm like, okay, so it wasn't Quicksilver. And then you see Quicksilver with the bullet holes right through him. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, like that was actually a really interesting way to kill off a character, because you still feel like, oh no, like you didn't want him to die, and you've only seen him in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so props to Whedon. You know, it's great writing for getting
And you know
into
what
a character.
sucks? Every Marvel actor, at least like main actor, I think, gets like the 5 to 6 picture deal. I think that's just like the general thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to fulfill those contracts.
Oh really?
Yeah, so apparently
okay.
Aaron Taylor Johnson did have a big contract, and then they had options whether they wanted to kill him or not. And so it's like, they even have a suit for him, apparently. I don't know if we'll ever see it, but they have a suit, and they have a cut where he's in the lineup at the end of the Avengers.
Okay.
The new Avengers, which we'll talk about, of course, too.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Quicksilver's dying was a huge bummer. Aaron Taylor Johnson gave like a good performance after. I love
did.
Godzilla. I love the new Godzilla. Fight me, everyone.
I always fight you
Fight
about
me.
it.
But he was not good in it. I won't say he was good in it. But yeah, he was really good.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
Certainly a
Damn.
lot better than
Godzilla.
No. I'm comparing the other Quicksilver in Days of Futures Past. Then the other actor was Evan Peters.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was good.
It was good, but I was more satisfied of how Quicksilver's portrayal was in this movie. You know, in Days of Futures Past, I didn't feel they didn't really fulfill the whole character, especially how he ran. Like the sound he ran, it sounded like a little fast gerbil like a.
Well, no, I like him. That's the best scene in the movie.
He wasn't
to me.
as overpowered either.
Yeah.
This one wasn't.
Yeah, that's what.
No, yeah, this one, yeah, he was just running really fast, which is cool
Yeah.
because
He was in God powers of speed.
Yeah.
and that's the same thing with Scarlet Witch in this one. You know, they didn't really, make her out super powerful. We know she's strong,
Yeah.
but she is crazy powerful.
I mean, we also
later
got to
on.
remember these are new characters
Yeah.
in general in the universe, and they're people in this world, but they're new to this part of the world, and so that they're newbies. And I think it's a very interesting choice for the first main Avenger for them to kill off.
Yeah,
Is a kid. Basically,
yeah, basically,
Like, I
Like
mean,
a
that's
newcomer.
just
true. Oh wow,
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it's going to bear a lot of weight on them for the future goes on. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think some tie into Civil War. Maybe not the death itself, but this whole movie is
I
leading
think,
that way.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I think it's gonna come back to them in Civil War because I'm not too sure. Have you read the whole synopsis and then the character list
This morning?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that they
it is.
announced?
I did.
We can talk
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, it
Yeah,
just came
okay.
out this morning.
Yeah, so Hawkeye's in it. So I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we're gonna see that reflect on Hawkeye.
Gene and
because
I
he
got
was
a
the
little
one-
maybe not sneak peek at what the movie might be about.
Really?
It's we don't know if it's true,
Okay.
but if it is, Civil War is gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There's like a spoiler thing.
Yeah.
really?
So it's
Yeah.
like
I didn't read that because I read what
I don't
want
wanna talk about where it is anymore.
Might be at.
because that's not where it is.
Yeah.
God damn it! Gene. I'm editing that out, by the way.
All right.
Um,
Just do a beep.
I'm gonna do a beep.
Beep, just do beep.
Yeah. But it's from someone who was credible when they posted Age of Ultron spoilers a year ago.
Oh, really?
So that's why it's like they could still be wrong. There's nothing
Yeah.
to say that they're right.
yeah,
They'll
that's
change
true.
it or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
They'll
Everything
change
goes
it.
through edits, especially these big blockbusters.
Well,
and
they
Marvel,
because they just announced who's going to be in it and
Yeah.
what the script is going to be about.
yeah, and we're getting a return character from the Incredible Hulk.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I know.
To,
and it's
to
even
show
like,
they didn't totally forget about that movie.
Forgiven but never forgotten.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
I
true,
actually like
yeah.
it. But yeah, William Hurt was fucking awesome, and his
William Hurt
mustache,
was
and
an awesome General Ross.
He was the best.
I like Sam Elliott a lot, but
William
yeah,
Hurt.
William Hurt was better.
He's just
Got
like
any
you
of that
love to hate him.
sarsaparilla?
You love to hate William Hurt as General
Yeah.
Ross. You know? It
William
was
Hurt's just so
good.
fucking cool.
Unless he turns into like the Red Hulk or something.
That's what everyone's thinking about. You know?
I think
because
there's
they're
enough
calling him
going on in that
Thunderbolt.
movie.
They're calling him Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt
That's what
Ross.
he's always been called.
No,
though.
but like they never
Oh.
they never talked about that in Incredible Hulk. They
Oh,
just
okay.
said, "Oh yeah, it's just the General Ross or General."
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Hopefully,
Maybe
yeah.
Thunderbolts down the line. We could talk about Phase 3 predictions
Right.
after. I want to
Okay,
at
okay,
least
okay, yeah.
spend like
But-
another half hour on Age
I
of
like-
Ultron.
we're so excited about the new Marvel Cinematic
Yeah.
Universe.
We'll talk about Civil War stuff later
Yeah,
and
okay.
Ant-Man and everything.
All right, no problem.
I liked the ideas of like the Avengers' place in the world,
Yeah,
like how they affect not like affect other countries when they go in, but like as a world peacekeeping thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the graffiti where it had they're throwing the stuff at the Iron Legion and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And some countries don't like them, it seemed like.
Yeah, I like that a lot because they're not a U.S. sanctioned organization, nor should they
They-
be, because
yeah.
then that just makes them a U.S. peacing force, and we've seen how well we do when we send out peacekeeping forces.
yeah.
They're not so peaceful. I think if anything, maybe they should be a UN peacekeeping force,
Right.
or just stay unrelated to the government whatsoever. And I think that's going to tie into Civil War stuff too. But here it's like, yeah, they are not U.S. sanctioned, but they are U.S. based, and that's an issue.
Yeah.
Because you're coming from that country, it's like, stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
I've seen what you guys have done in the last decade, Avengers related or not, in real life. You just stay the fuck out. We don't have oil. Go away. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, you want to keep talking about
Yeah,
more
it
ideas?
works.
I don't want to take
yeah,
up
it
the whole
works
time.
as a good analogy for the U.S. and stuff. But yeah, I like that idea in the movie. It was very effective. I like the ideas it had about Hulk and how he can't have a happy life, and
Yeah.
like
The Bill Bixby thing.
yeah, the Bill Bixby thing. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I should have thought of that song to end this place. Another time,
okay,
because
yeah.
I want to do a specific Hulk podcast. Because
Oh,
he's just
yeah.
there's so much to say about that
There's so
character.
much
They need to have
Yeah.
more Hulk stuff.
That's why I'm gonna miss Joss Whedon a lot for many reasons. He's probably my favorite living writer, movies, TV, anything.
Yeah.
He gets the Hulk, but I'm sure it's not easy.
I think only he got the Hulk though.
Yeah.
I like the Incredible Hulk enough. I need to revisit the Ang Lee Hulk.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I need to. I feel it in my bones. But he's like, he just gets how to use them, and
Right.
maybe
He
he
does.
just best used as a team member. You know,
Yeah.
maybe he doesn't need standalone movies. They can't make them because the Universal Studio rights has the money for standalone Hulks or the rights or whatever. Thank you, distribution. But there's a lot to say with the characters. A lot you can do with them. Just nobody's really done it. I mean, I couldn't say that I could figure out how to do it or anything, but there are much smarter people than I who could probably do a pretty good Hulk movie down the line.
Yeah.
So I hope they work stuff out with Universal.
Right.
But I really do love the Hulk, and I love Mark Ruffalo. I think
Mark
he's so
Ruffalo,
human.
Right.
Plays
You know?
a really good Bruce Banner.
He does.
You know, he
Like-
really does. Like, even for not having to do like a standalone movie and just coming into the equation last minute and just bringing that character to life, it was just it blew me away once I saw Avengers, and then you see him more in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cap's my favorite Avenger, but I think Mark Ruffalo might be my favorite actor in the Marvel universe, and he's only done 2 movies. He gets so much from so little screen time, and it's like you feel so bad for him, you know?
He's not getting a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And he wants to do a standalone Hulk movie. You know.
Yeah. I liked how they could have done it. If they sent him into space.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we can talk about that. Yeah. That was apparently the plan at some point.
Yeah.
Just
Well, no,
space the
you
Hulk.
said you just see like reflections of stars.
Mhm.
Like it's implied he's in space, but they don't show it.
So even then, they would have just give themselves the leeway of where he's going.
Yeah.
But I mean, that sounds pretty definitive.
Kind of. They still have that right now.
Yeah, he could still be in space.
They could, if they do a Planet Hulk movie or a movie that he's in space, they could kind of go back to that scene and just like showing him like as like, you know, like how they do in like in Incredible Hulk when they showed him becoming the Hulk. They can do it in that way.
Yeah.
During the opening titles.
Yeah.
You know?
Where it's like the Ang Lee Hulk may be our origin story, but it doesn't really matter because we moved on to better things. Kind of. Yeah. I'm gonna miss the Hulk for Phase 3. I mean, he only had a little cameo at the end of Iron Man 3, but even then, I was like, yeah.
Hulk's
I like
so
you.
Yeah, Hulk's been
awesome.
getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Maybe in
out
the
of all
big
the
picture
Avengers.
things, but I mean, it's not like they don't want to use them.
It's true.
You know,
That's
it's just
true.
like shit.
It's just legal.
Yeah,
Legal
you know.
issues. You know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I can live with that because I mean, everyone loves the Hulk. The Hulk has never had a bigger fan base, I don't think, than now. Maybe the Bill Bixby show.
Yeah.
Maybe because
that's
that was
true.
like such a popular show.
Yeah.
And it still is. A lot of people still really love it. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
A lot of people still watch it till this day.
Yeah.
To this day, they watch it.
There's a recommendation for you. Go watch the Incredible Hulk TV show.
It's
It
really
was called
good.
David Bruce Banner.
Oh, that's right. David Bruce Banner. I forgot about that.
Well, let's move on from the Hulk. As much as I want to talk about the Hulk forever, I love Hawkeye. I mean, I talked about this on the previous episode,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I
Yeah.
fucking love Hawkeye.
They really did Hawkeye justice.
Yes.
in this movie.
I mean, he's
He
not
needed it.
he's not really his comic book character, but I'm one of the people who's like, as long as you do something good and the character stays to his roots mostly, you're good. And here he's not a major fuck up like he's in the comics.
No, but he's witty.
Yeah,
He's
he's
very
witty.
witty.
He's got this nice little banter about himself. His head's on his shoulders.
Yeah.
I love the little line.
Yeah, his personality.
His personality, yeah. Personality goes a long way.
He
What does
does.
he say about brainwashing? Not a fan.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
He's like,
Not a
I've been there before, not a fan. Like, that's so fucking funny.
Oh man, and that was so slick too, as how he got Scarlet Witch. Like he didn't even look at her.
Yeah, he just like,
Just
boom!
boom. Like
Boom! You looking for this?
Yeah, and then like to see him flying the ship and just like, don't worry, we're going to our safe house. And
He's
then,
like, safe house.
I know, and then safe house, and then Tony Stark when he sees the wife, that's an agent.
And
He's
like,
like,
the kids come running out.
little agents.
Those are smaller agents.
Yeah.
It was, and that was a big twist too.
That was one of my favorite parts.
As a family, I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, okay.
I really liked the stuff there at the house.
Yeah, me too. Some
Yeah.
people like, it stopped the movie. I was like,
No, it didn't.
no, it's making it human.
Yeah.
It's showing us the heart of the movie. This is what they're fighting for.
Yeah, it
you know?
shows us that they are also dealing with their conflicts, what Scarlet Witch brought to them. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, okay. I want to get to that in a
Yeah,
second.
okay.
But let's talk about more
Okay.
Hawkeye first. Like,
Yeah.
I just love that he's the most human Avenger because I think Black Widow is just fucking backflipping everything. She's so
Yeah.
kick-ass.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna talk about her in a second too. But he's the one who's like sure of himself. I think.
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, I know I'm not as strong as all of them.
And I
got
didn't get a
bow and
solo
arrow.
movie like you guys.
I didn't get a solo movie. I didn't get to headline Cap the Winter Soldier along with Black Widow and Falcon. But I know who I am. I love my family, and they're this team's trouble, but they're my trouble. And like I love that so much about him. Like not every character needs like an internal conflict about can I do this or not.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the rest of the movie's filled with it, so I'm
Yeah,
not
definitely.
shitting on
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
It's just that it's nice to have a character who's so sure about themselves.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then,
it was really good.
yeah, let's talk about Scarlet Witch's visions and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And how that fucked up. I mean, sometimes heroes in movies, like, they'll get beat down, they'll come back for the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you really feel it.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really get their asses handed to them besides Iron Man and Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
But you felt the hurt go across the Quinjet when they're flying to the
They all
safe
doubted
house.
themselves
Mm-hmm.
in every single way.
Hey, what do you guys think about their visions? Who do you think had the saddest one?
Probably Cap.
Yeah, I felt Cap had the
Was the
most
saddest?
emotional one. Yeah. I think Thor had the one that was just kind of like interesting. It was very interesting
Mm-hmm.
because I think it was just hinting at Ragnarok. You know,
That's
was
pretty
like-
much what it
Yeah,
was.
I
A big hint.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
all
like,
right.
oh, Thor's movies aren't as popular as the other ones. They make money, as all Marvel movies do, but they're like, oh, something's about them's not clicking, so
Yeah.
we gotta start building up hype for it now.
And then what is it? Black Widow's was the most revealing because it showed
Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
really
what she
good.
went through.
I want to talk about that first because I want
Yeah.
to talk about the Cap one, but
Yeah. Talk
I
about
think some people really misunderstood. I just feel like such a cock saying this, like, oh, you just didn't get it. But sometimes people just don't get what the purpose of things are. So
That's true,
I'm gonna
man.
try my best to explain it. Don't hate me. When her and Bruce Banner are talking in the farmhouse, and they got this nice flirtation going on, I actually think it's a really interesting character dynamic.
Yeah.
She's talking about how she was sterilized and it's effective, and then they start talking about how they're both monsters. She's not calling herself a monster because she can't have kids, and I just want to make that clear to everyone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not at all
No.
what she was
No.
implying. It's just that the organization, the Red Room, took everything from her, and the possibility of even a normal life doesn't mean she wanted it, but the possibility of it.
Yeah.
They took that from her.
They took that option
and
away.
so she was just made to kill. Like, that's what's making her a monster in her own eyes. And I think that's what makes Black Widow such a fascinating character. She's got this whole thing about self-doubt, whereas like Hawkeye sure of himself. Cap is like, I know what I have to do now. Hulk is like, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
And then she's just got this whole thing about like, I was made to kill. I don't know if I'm worthy of being a hero. That's why I think it'll be the perfect opportunity at some point in Phase 3 for her to pick up Thor's hammer. Because here she's like, no, I don't need that question answered for me now.
Yeah.
She didn't even try to pick it up.
No.
What if she could?
Right.
That would be interesting.
What if
Very
she
interesting.
carries the hammer along with Cap's shield in a showdown with Thanos? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
That would be so fucking
I
badass.
That'd be
I hope
epic.
Captain America gets to pick it up before.
I know. I hope so
yeah.
too, but I would like them both just hand it off to each
Yeah.
other. Like, imagine how funny would that be? They're fighting like all of Thanos' forces,
yeah.
Right.
and then she just offhandedly tosses the hammer to Cap, or Cap
Right.
tosses it to her, and then she tosses it to Thor, and then he's just like, what? we're going to talk about this after,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
just go back to beating up
A little
Thanos.
off topic, but
Fine.
you explained that to me about Thor's hammer with Cap because some people had misconceptions about that.
Oh, yeah.
Because for me, I felt like they're kind of saying Cap's not worthy, even though in the comics it's a big thing that he's the only one that could pick up the hammer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So
get to
explain
right
that
now.
to
Okay.
people.
and then more Black Widow stuff because I
Sure.
love Black Widow. She's my favorite.
Yeah, no,
or
no.
at least
Yeah, no.
interesting.
Just get that out of the way.
I think this is making me redact on my Black Widow thing a little bit. I
Okay.
don't think she could have picked it up there either. I don't think anybody but Thor could have picked it up there because they're doing it for showmanship.
Yeah.
The hammer does not see people as worthy if you're just joking around about being able to wield that power, you know? So I think why it didn't work for Cap there and why it nudged is because he is worthy, but it's like, we're just kind of drunk, we're just hanging out. Let's see.
Yeah.
You can't
It
do
was
that.
just for fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't at a moment where he needed to
Yeah.
pick it up.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's like if you're at a party or something, you're like hitting on someone and you're really drunk. It's like, do you want? Are you hitting on me because you are drunk, or because I don't want to take advantage of you? What the? I don't want you to.
Basically, yeah.
I don't want you to try. I don't want you to regret anything either. You know, I want it to be a mutual companionship.
Yeah, yeah.
And so Mjolnir's like, what? Sit the fuck down. Get back. You know. And Thor's like, no, this is a mutual relationship, so it's respectful, and that's why he can pick it up.
Yeah.
Of course, he's cocky as fuck all the time, so maybe this whole thing's just fucked. But that's my theory for why Cap can't pick it up right there, because I think he's the worthy one besides Thor,
That's a.
and I think it'd be a good completion for Natasha's arc down the line too.
Yeah.
I actually like that explanation you give out. That was a good one.
Thank you.
No problem.
I thought long and hard about that one.
You did.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Well, I know a lot of people don't like her relationship with Bruce Banner, but I think
I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me.
It did.
And
Yeah, I mean,
I like it more
didn't ruin the movie at
when I
all.
think about it,
was
yeah.
like,
I mean,
oh,
even if someone doesn't like it, I'll explain why I think it's great right now. But even if someone doesn't like it, what you don't do is you start attacking people. You don't
Yeah.
don't do that, because that's all happening right now. No, Joss Whedon didn't leave Twitter because of the harassment. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He just like, I'm tired. He's been saying he's tired for like a year
Yeah.
since working on this movie. So he's gonna rest now.
Yeah.
He's
good.
gonna go to Odin sleep.
He's gonna go into the Odin sleep. And, here's Joss
Father.
Whedon.
All
We didn't
Father
sleep. We didn't
The
sleep.
Whedon sleep. But no, even if you don't like it, that's fine. I think there are plenty of other things this movie does well. But
Yeah.
I like the relationship because these are two people who are see themselves as so flawed, they can't see their own beauty, so they see the beauty in each other.
It kind of makes sense. They would, flirt, have a little thing. Of course, in the end of the movie, they never go through.
Oh,
with
it's so sad.
It was.
I
kinda
think they
did.
make the declaration of love by the
Yeah.
end of it. It's like, fuck it, the world's gonna end. She kisses him, and then she's like, what? Boom, pushes him off, and she's like, I need the Hulk right now.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we
babe.
all need the Hulk.
Yeah. But no, I think she could be seen as a damsel in distress at the end because Bruce Banner rescues her. I don't think she is though. I heard you, Gene. I don't think she is. She's the one who's able to tame the Hulk. Because beauty killed the beast, that type of thing.
It was beauty that
No, it
killed
was an
us.
airplane. It was a bunch of airplanes.
He was distracted by her beauty. King Kong's an amazing movie. All of them. But the thing here is, I think Black Widow's been able to rescue everyone else in their own movies.
Sure.
Like, I think that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
She almost saved the world by herself in the Avengers. She closed the portal. They didn't need the nuke. They just needed to get rid of the nuke. She could have done it any time. I thought that was cool. She saves Falcon and Cap like countless times in the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. And she
Iron
helps
Man
out
too.
Stark in Iron Man too. Yeah.
Like, damn, Black Widow. Without her, the universe falls apart.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But here, I think just because she's more vulnerable, I don't think that makes her a damsel in distress. It's not her only function in the movie. Isn't just to be saved. I think that's when it becomes a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Right. I liked the more vulnerable stuff because I didn't really like her in the first movie too much. No, because she was.
No, we talked about it before. But go ahead.
But I felt like it was vulnerable. That's like all in the comics how she is. That's her like kind of personality. When she was jokey in the first one, it was kind of, but in this one, it was like,
I don't see how that's a party.
oh yeah,
I don't know. That's the movie that made me fall in love with the character.
Right.
Specifically, the best scene in the first Avengers to me is when Loki's like, "This is my bargain, you mewling Quim," and she's like, "You're a monster," and then she turns it on him like, "Thank you for your cooperation." I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, what did
That
I
was
just
good.
watch?"
Right.
And that's the moment I was like, "I love you."
yeah. I felt like she was too Whedon-y in the first one, but in this one, she was.
She was
She
more
was
than
still
just she was more than just Whedon-y.
Yeah. She had
Okay.
like depth.
Depth.
Depth
No,
to
I
her,
get you.
yeah.
No. Quicksilver got the death. Let's not mix that up.
I liked her a lot more, and yeah, she was really good. Even the romance, I didn't like it at first. I don't know. It seemed like kind of out of left field.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, it kind of is, but
Yeah.
thematically, it works, and to me, that's what makes this whole movie work. Everything relates to everything thematically.
Yeah.
You know, it
right.
ties
It's
into
not
the
like
idea.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's
No,
not
it's
like
not.
our
Where,
themes
like-
are time and love,
and then they actually
pizza.
say the themes. They literally say the themes in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Here,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
they
people
do.
just think it's like a lot happening with no context. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, everything's character-based and thematically tied. It's like, it's so beautiful to see a blockbuster function this well.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome.
And so it like hurts me. I'm like, no, why can't we all just love it? It's so good. But backtracking to these Scarlet Witch visions, yeah, I think Cap, apart from Black Widow's, because I mean, she got her whole life taken. They both got their whole lives taken from them.
Yeah.
For
Right.
different reasons, and they see their worst fears realized and such.
Right.
And that's the saddest thing to me about both of them, specifically Cap's too. He's living his fear all the time. He's
Yeah.
alone.
It's-
Like he
yeah.
has nobody.
It'll never
As
go
a
away.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Falcon's cool, but I mean, he had Peggy, man. He loved Peggy.
Right.
It's so
Yeah.
sad.
And he had his.
I hope he
like,
gets a
you
love
know,
interest soon.
Oh, I
mean,
know.
I would be okay
Poor
with him
guy.
not getting one.
No, he
and if
needs
he
one.
does, it's got to be Bucky, man. He's got to get it with
I was
Bucky.
gonna say no. It's Sharon Carter.
Yeah. What
No, I know.
about- Yeah.
I don't think they will.
No,
I think they will become accomplices and friends, but I don't.
I think they will.
Well, I mean, with Evans,
They just have to introduce the fact. Oh, sorry. They just have to introduce the fact that she's like her granddaughter or grandniece or whatever
Yeah.
the word her relation is now.
See, I always thought that was a little weird.
It's not weird.
It's like, yeah, I
Well,
had the
it's-
hots for your grandma or whatever.
Well, I mean, like
Yeah.
it's. I mean, it's not like they did anything. That's the thing too.
There you go.
Yeah.
They just
Is Captain America the 97-year-old virgin? That's the real question here.
Yeah.
That's true.
But anyway, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, well, I was gonna say because you said
Mm-hmm.
something about Agent Carter I lost my train of thought.
Sharon Carter.
Sharon
Sharon Carter.
Carter. Yeah, you said something about Sharon Carter.
Agent 13.
Agent 13.
Did they name her or no?
They name her Sharon in
Yeah.
Agent 13.
Okay.
They don't say Carter.
All right.
It's left loose at the end. It's for the comic
If
fans.
they
It's
wanna
like
change it.
yeah.
I think because Chris Evans only has movies up until Civil War and then
Infinity War.
Avengers.
A single Infinity War.
Yeah, and that's
A
it.
single one.
He's done. So I don't think, as of character-wise, they'll have an interest. They'll probably nudge like they always do. Like
No.
probably, yeah.
I think he's supposed to be in Infinity War Parts 1 and 2 because he says he was preparing for both of them.
Oh.
They shoot at the same time.
Yeah, he said he's going to do that.
Well, I know for sure he'd probably be in part 2 because that's when
Yeah.
That's
That's my theory. He's only
Yeah.
going to be in part 2. He's not
Right.
going to be in part 1. I'm still holding. Gene, I remember. I ain't buying your IMAX ticket.
Okay. Sorry, what were you going to say again?
No, I think.
Interrupting you.
But yeah, because maybe like, I mean, I kind of want to see a love interest too with Captain America.
He needs one.
But
Bucky.
it wouldn't bother me if they didn't.
They're
do
brothers,
one.
damn it.
No, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I just like joke around, but at the same time, be like, "Whoa, that'd be progressive as fuck." Imagine having a bisexual Captain America.
That'd be-
People would lose their fucking minds.
That'd be awesome. That would make people love Captain America even more.
Yeah,
you
and then
know?
make like the really
Well-
ignorant people really angry, and then be like, "Ah, fuck you."
you bitch.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. But I mean, like I said, if they don't do a love interest, I wouldn't even care because I'm so invested into just the character alone for Captain America, just to see, especially what's going to happen in Civil War. But Avengers: Age of Ultron, he was just awesome in this movie.
Yeah,
you know,
and he goes hand to hand with Ultron. Like I love
yeah.
it. Both Avengers movies, Cap doesn't have the biggest story, but he has a story, and it's a good one. And then he gets to go hand to hand by himself with both of the villains, with Loki in Stuttgart, and then Ultron in Seoul, Korea.
that was my. You know what? Honestly, like when it came down to like which Avenger came one on one, because it always happens. You know, they show like Thor going one on one, and then they show Iron Man go one on one, Hulk go one on one. I loved Captain America one on one with Ultron. Even though it wasn't like the main fight, it was still
good.
awesome to watch. You know, him struggle because even Hawkeye was telling him, he's like, "You're no match for him. Just remember that." He goes, "Okay, thanks." And just like he loses his shield, and just seeing him fight. Even the way Captain America fight in this movie was just as good as Winter Soldier too.
Yeah,
the fighting style.
He got more comic booky. In the first one, is like, oh, is he like? He's a little too hoppy, a little too CGI.
Yeah.
Oh, in the first Avengers?
Yeah,
I remember
unless
that.
he was like just punching things
I was
like
going to
mano
say,
a mano.
yeah, that first. Do you remember that people really like that shot where the tracking cam, and it's like,
Oh, I love that shot.
Yeah, but that scene with Cap when he double teams all the army
so
with
fucking cool.
But
Yeah, I know
yeah,
what
Iron
you're
Man,
talking
it
about.
looks very fake
CGI, yeah.
and that really bothered me. But
one thing I will
I'm
say
glad
about
they-
that,
yeah.
it's just you're so in the moment with that one that
well,
doesn't
that
even
took me out
matter.
of the moment though.
Well, then
You
fuck
could
your
tell
mo-
it's obviously fake.
Sorry, did I step on your moment?
I guess.
Black Widow reference. Boom, baby. Boom. You looking for this? Actually, yeah, that's what I was talking about now. Rhodey.
But-
I love Rhodey joining
Rhodey
the Avengers.
was
Boom.
awesome in this movie.
Do it.
Well, I mean, the party scene in general is great.
Oh,
but
that's great. I love what's his name, and I'm glad we're probably going to see him more because he's an Avenger now, War Machine.
War Machine. Oh,
But
yeah.
I love Don Cheadle as War Machine because I was telling you this before because I like how he plays it, where he always feels like under Tony's shadow,
Yeah.
like all the time,
It's
and
so
he
do
has
it
to like
well in this
overcompensate.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it really well.
There-
That's when he's telling the story.
He's always like
I love his story.
overcompensating too.
Yeah, because like to Earth
Is this
Mightiest
what you're
Heroes
looking for?
is just like nothing.
Yeah, what does he say?
He goes-
What's his joke?
Oh yeah, he tells him like, oh yeah, so then the general's looking for this tank. So then I grab it, drop it on his front yard to be like, boom, is this what you're looking for? And everyone's like, and Thor and Iron Man are just like, and Thor's like, is that the end of the story? Yeah. Oh, that was a very good story.
War Machine. That's a War Machine story. Oh, it's not good enough for a spin-off.
But then I love immediately after he's talking to everyone else, and they're like, ah ha ha ha, and he's just like nodding to us, like, damn right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad they brought him in the finale too.
Yeah,
That was
me too.
awesome.
Like as
That's awesome.
Support.
yeah, support.
Yeah, I mean,
The Calvary.
Obviously, we'll talk a little bit right now because I want to talk about more stuff really quick.
Yeah.
But the Avengers need heavy hitters because Hulk's gone.
Yes.
Thor is like, fuck, these are bigger things going on.
Yeah, he needs to go back.
Bail.
To Asgard.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll be back, but
He's been gone
bail
too
now.
long from
Yeah.
Asgard.
Yeah, and then Iron Man's like, shit, I'm tired. I am Joss Whedon. I need a rest. I need to go into the Odin sleep.
And then Captain America's just like, we need a new team.
Yeah, because all that's left is Cap and Black Widow.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. And Hawkeye's like, I'm
He wanted to
retire.
be with his family, yeah.
He's done.
Good for him though. He deserves it. I'm happy for him.
Right.
But yeah, I
And
wanna-
Nick Fury's still up and about.
He's running
Yeah.
the Avengers facility.
Okay.
It seemed like
Oh, yeah. So,
I think he's gonna be like, not just staying there specifically. Though. I think he's gonna be
Yeah.
hopping all over the place. You know.
yeah.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
true because like
Because Shield knows he's alive now. in
Yeah.
the show
Yeah.
if people don't watch it.
Yeah.
Which they
I
don't.
mean, it's, with the Marvel movies and the TV shows, I think these are something you have to be more lenient about with spoilers. Like, if you don't watch them now and you fall behind, it's not our responsibility because this is like the franchise right now. I mean, obviously Star Wars is going to probably be a leg up about it because it's fucking Star Wars. But
That's true.
these are the two big franchises that are going to be like everywhere. So I think be lenient with spoilers on this. If you don't watch it like the week of, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, oh, too fucking bad. Oh, here's Ultron references. Boom. Looking for this, you know? But yeah, I guess a couple more things about the Avengers. I love so much. Everything just works for me.
It was
so
a
well.
fun movie to watch, honestly. Like, I had a good time watching it from beginning to end. Saw it twice, you know, and second time I watched it, it was just as good, you know. And a lot of people are, you know, complaining about it's not as good as the first one.
I thought it was better than the
Me
first
too.
one.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it felt like this movie was completely different feel from the first one.
Yeah.
The first one was like,
how a sequel should be.
yeah, which was the first one, them coming together. And then the second one was like, okay, we're thrown in the middle of them while they're still together.
Yeah.
You know, and in the end, you know, this is the end of how they disperse. This is how they,
Right.
you know, become apart from everyone now, which is cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then at the end of this movie, you get to see new characters.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah,
Okay.
the movie is just like, it's so different. Why is that a
Yeah.
bad thing?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's why I love all the Alien movies. Fucking fight me on that. But they all feel so dramatically different. Like, I've actually heard people say the fourth one's their favorite. They're fucking nuts, okay? I love Resurrection for how bad it is, but it's not good. So
Yeah, that's
don't do
true.
that. Don't
At
be
least
that guy.
you know that.
Yeah, but yeah, I love when sequels feel different. They're Star Wars. Return of the Jedi feels more like the first one, but even then, it's a completely different movie. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Why is this a bad thing?
Yeah.
Do you like everyone's always complaining about how all blockbusters are the same? Well, here's a different one, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's too
It's
different.
not as-
Criticize it,
It's
yeah.
too
Not
different.
as good as original. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Get a
Yeah.
better argument, you know? Or how look, this is just how Marvel movies work. They're going to lead up to different things while telling their own story. This
Yeah.
one is literally just a middle piece, but it's a perfectly formed middle piece. Why can a movie not be that?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like this perception that a movie has to be something that you want it to be. Like, let it be its thing and see if you like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, that's fine. Don't tell it what to do. You know?
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah.
Because not everyone has the same idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, Joss
Everyone-
Whedon's smarter than like all of us.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
God.
I mean, he's not perfect. Like, I don't like any of Dollhouse, but I mean, that's like one thing.
Yeah,
you know?
that's just one thing, you know. And then out of the whole other stuff that he's created, Buffy, Dr. Horrible Sing Along Blog, I still love that.
Yeah,
Dr.
that
Horrible
might be
Sing-Along
my
Blog.
favorite thing he's ever done still.
Yeah,
Maybe. I really love Age of
Yeah.
Ultron and,
I-
and Firefly and
yeah.
Buffy.
I love Firefly and Serenity and stuff like that.
And the
I-
finale of Angels, the best finale.
Oh, yeah, that was honestly a really good finale. Oh man, I forgot about that.
Well, speaking of finales, let's talk a little about this one because it all builds up so perfectly. Like
Right.
the opening and the closing of the movie
Yeah.
are two mostly unrelated events. Like, it's what they did before and then now what comes after. But like the first Avengers, the first one is bookended by S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff and Nick Fury talking about what the Avengers is needed for and what they're going to do and what they're here to do. The rest of the movie is Act 1, 2, 3. We're building up to this big final confrontation, you know, Seven Samurai type archetype storytelling. And then here it's just like all original ideas and material and stuff we've never seen before in a movie. And I like that. I like
Yeah.
how there's bookends to these Avengers movies because they're so fucking
Yeah.
epic. These are like
So
modern
good.
Yeah.
fairy tales, basically,
Yeah.
just on a big blockbuster screen. And so now we get, like, what do heroes mean? What do they want?
Right.
Who are they outside of this? And can they be happy and stuff? And, like, so good. But what I really want to talk about is Vision because I love Vision.
I love the way
So
Vision
much.
was brought up into this movie because you can tell it was the perfect blend of every single comic like thing that they brought up, you know, with the whole Jarvis thing and the whole Vision being created,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
with the Infinity Stone too. You know, it was like, oh wow, like it worked for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, it's stupid, that's retarded. No, I didn't like. No, I loved it. How Vision was brought into this.
Like, I mean, the whole movie's comic booky as shit. It's the most comic book movie like, ever comic book.
It's
Yeah.
a comic book.
Yeah, like, but Vision is like a perfect example of that because it's like, what are his powers? He's phasing through stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
what are his powers? Mind Stone blast.
I know.
It's like, what are his powers? It's a movie. You don't really need to question it because they don't even understand it really.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You know,
Sure, yeah.
it doesn't treat the audience as dumb, and I think that's an important part of it too.
Very important, yeah.
And then he's just so fucking regal. It's like, why does he have a cape? Oh, he liked Thor's cape, so he just grew one. Like, that's so cool to me. Like, they're just willing to just go for it. Yeah.
You wanted to see more superheroic?
Mm-hmm. And, oh my god. I knew the scene was going to kill when everyone's like fighting, and then it's like, oh, well, could we even trust it? Is it a child of Ultron? He's like, I'm not a child of Ultron. I am. And he's like, well, you don't have to trust me, but we need to go. And then he hands Thor the hammer, and everyone just like, like in the audience, I love that.
At the end of the movie, like Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man were discussing it. They go like, well, he is a machine. Yeah. You know, so it's like, yeah, but it's like, it's the same thing as putting up in, you know, the hammer at an elevator. Yeah. The elevator's not worthy, though. Yeah.
But, I like that Thor has this camaraderie with people like Vision and Captain America who are so inherently good. Mm-hmm. I love Thor. Even though his stories aren't the best and his movies aren't the best, as much as I love the first one. As a character, he's just such a likable character. Yeah. And he gets some of the funniest moments in the movie, too.
He does. Oh,
like when him and Ultron just going toe-to-toe, and he's like, Thor, you're bothering me. And he's holding him at the throat, and he's beating up. He's like, I'm Thor, son of Odin, and I'm running out of words. Hurry now. And he knocks him the fuck out, Vision.
So good.
And I'm like geeking out so hard, my headphones are falling. And then he's like, oh, that thing is terribly well balanced. Yeah. Well, you know, if it's uneven, you lose power on the swing. Like,
and I knew Thor was going to be really good when, in the beginning of the movie, after the whole fight scene, you know, Black Widow asks him, Thor, so what's the report on Hulk? Oh, may his enemies scream in the depths that he sent them in.
Yeah.
So like,
and then it's like,
maybe whimper, slightly disabled,
broken, gout.
I was just laughing so much. I was like, oh, Thor's trying to like take back what he said, but yet trying to be cool about it. That was awesome, because even Thor can get like, he's
I love Thor. I really hope they knock Ragnarok out of the park. I think they have to.
I hope they do.
I think they have to. Otherwise, Thor is done.
Yeah, because it seems like, you know, if they don't do good with Ragnarok, Thor's only going to be good in Avengers.
Yeah, and he's. You could do so much more with this character than the Hulk.
Yeah, so maybe Whedon should do a standalone Hulk, you know,
I don't think Whedon's ever going to work with Marvel again.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, and I mean, let's just talk about Ultron then, because I mean, unless you guys don't want to say anything else about Vision, because I think there's a lot to say with that character too.
No, I mean, I feel like Vision. You know, of course, he was introduced the last 30 minutes into this movie.
Oh,
yeah,
the last act. Yeah,
and it was good. Of course, we're going to see more of him in Phase 3.
Oh, yeah. You know, well, he's in Civil War.
Yeah. Yes.
I really liked his speech at the end, their conversation.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Between Ultron and him?
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite moment in the movie.
Okay.
Hawkeye's my MVP. That conversation with Vision and Ultron is just...
That was really good.
I think that's where the movie nailed everything. If that scene didn't work, the rest of the movie's great still, but that's the one that ties it all together.
It really showed you what Vision... believed in, or what line he was at of when it came to either saving humanity or letting the bad guy go, like, walk away.
Yeah,
right. You know, it really sets you on what he believes in, which is really good.
Yeah,
you know?
And it's an interesting thing because it's like, here's Tony Stark's bastard child, the golden boy gone wrong. You know, the prodigal son that fucked up.
Yeah,
and it's like. It's basically Robot Jesus turned bad. That's basically what Ultron is in this movie. Just a lot, you know, more sarcastic and witty, and he talks so flamboyantly, and he raises his hands a lot. I love that one of the first scenes you see him in his fully formed form is that he's got a red robe around him. Yeah. Like from the comics a little bit. I forget what story. I think it was Annihilation Conquest.
That was a reference to him being the... I forgot what...
Oh, Crimson Cowl.
Yeah, Crimson Cowl.
Yeah, he started the Masters of Evil back in the day.
That was so cool. Yeah. See, and I loved how they did that in this whole movie.
In a way, he kind of had the Masters of Evil thing because he recruited the twins.
Yeah.
Well, Abomination was supposed to be a part of his little group.
Oh, okay.
Is what I heard.
Well, the original plan for Avengers 2, I mean, before we get back to Ultron, because so much to say still, Obadiah Stane wasn't supposed to die in the first Iron Man. He's dead now, so this plans have changed significantly.
Yeah, true.
He was supposed to be also in Avengers 2, I believe, along with Abomination, and I assume other characters as well, because from the looks of it, if what it sounded like, they weren't going to kill off all their villains right away, and they were going to bring them back for Masters.
They don't kill all the villains.
No, they don't. Yeah, like Loki.
Yeah,
Loki's great. I'm not complaining.
Same thing with Red Skull. I think Red Skull is
Yeah,
supposed to,
Skull,
you
yeah.
probably will
was
never
supposed
see
to be
him again.
frozen.
We'll
was
never
supposed to
see.
be frozen with Cap. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
that's
hadn't heard
what
that
I've
one
heard.
before.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
what
so
I've
fucking
heard.
cool.
When they
Oh, well, he
first
was
did-
going to be the villain in the first Avengers for a while. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, and then that's what because I remember after Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie, you know, they were like, okay, so they're gonna do every single villain. It's gonna be introduced, you know, in Phase 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then in Avengers, it was supposed to be like when they all came together to take down the Avengers.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool. But then, of course, later on, you know, when Thor came out, when Captain America came out, it's like, okay, no, they're going towards the Infinity Gems more.
Yeah.
Which was smart. It was a
Yeah,
smart
I think
move.
it's cool. It ties everything together. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a little
Yeah.
horror, sometimes not so much.
Yeah.
Here, I think it works fine.
Yeah.
The more
Yeah.
I've seen it, the more it settles. I think everything works like so fluidly. But to Ultron, I think what makes his character so, I think the best Marvel villain. I won't completely fight anybody who says like Loki or Kingpin, because I think those are up there as well. But I think Ultron is the quintessential Marvel villain because he's not afraid to get scary, and just like
Right.
he just gets into it. And James Spader's spadering everywhere is so much
Yeah.
fun to listen to.
Oh yeah, it was
Like,
so good.
I could listen to this character talk forever. I need that 3.5 hour cut of this movie just so I could listen to James Spader talk for
Yeah.
longer periods of time. Like
Yeah, he did a really good job.
I think the quintessential Ultron scene, besides the Vision one at the very end, which I'll go back to, is when he's talking to Andy Serkis as Claw.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You'd one of Starks," and he's like, "What? No!" And he cuts off his arms, like, "Oh, sorry, shoot,
I'm
sorry,
so
sorry.
sorry.
Just
But
don't compare me with Stark. He's a sickness, you know."
Right.
Like he switches off and on. So
Yeah, I
easily.
like that.
I know you.
No,
not so
no,
easy
I
on
said
the-
I liked Ultron,
Okay.
but I felt like he could have used one or two less quips. Like he didn't have. He had one or two. One or two quips he didn't need.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of ruined some scenes.
Could you give an example? I'm not going to fight you. I just want to hear
like
your
when
opinion.
before the Hulk punches him and he's like, "Oh, for God's sakes!" and then like
Oh, okay.
then the Hulk comes and it's like, "Do you really need to like quip for everything?" You know?
I think because he's Tony Stark's bastard.
Yeah, I
son,
know, but
I think that's why it works.
Like he's gonna like it just I don't know. It felt like a little too much in some parts.
Okay.
I think it worked, but I see your point.
Yeah.
You're just a hater, Gene.
No, it worked
You just-
okay.
Why do you
It was
hate
just
this
like-
movie?
It was like
yeah. No, I get you. I just
I didn't
disagree.
mind him having like a sense of humor because that's fine because he's based on Tony Stark, but like he could have quipped a little less. Like it
Okay.
felt like some stuff he should have been more serious.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Definitely with me because when I first saw Ultron and then like when they were kind of when he finally talked, you know, his like beginning of the final stage when you see his next stage for the first time, you know, when
The
you
adamantium or the vibranium one.
yeah, the vibranium
They
one.
don't have animation.
I know I fucked up.
They-
I realize that now.
They really humanized the way he talks, and I was like, okay.
The clips online. At first, I was like, I love that voice.
Yeah.
But it's a little human.
Yeah.
I like it. But let's see what they do.
I was kind of hoping they kept like a little, you know, android talk, you know, like a little at the
And
end.
then I think they fixed it in the movie.
Yeah.
Because in the clips, it was just James Spader's voice. I found
Yeah,
out. I was like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
I know, that's what I thought too. I was like, okay, they altered James Spader's voice. No, it was just him talking really deep and like dark. I was like, dang, man, I'm scared of him now. Like if I meet him in real life, but I loved Ultron a lot, you know, and I've done many podcasts before this, and we talked about this, and the one, if anything, along with like the, you know, the whole Black Widow and Hulk thing, that was a gripe with them, but the one that always comes back around is that Ultron didn't seem dark enough, and I was like, okay, I mean, I can tell how from the trailer, he did seem more sinister.
Yeah, he did.
But in the movie, he was sinister
In
but
a different way,
In
I
a different
think.
way,
Yeah.
it was really good. I loved it.
Yeah, I think people have this preconceived notion about like Darth Vader type villains where it's like just so unrelenting evil, it seems like, or like a Joker type thing where it's like, no, don't pigeonhole villains into one situation. Remember, they don't have to be sympathetic per se, but they don't also have to be unrelentlessly
Maleficent.
evil. Yeah, oh fuck Maleficent. That movie's so bad. Watch Cinderella though. Cinderella was really good. Yeah, no, I like. Ultron is a Joss Whedon creation.
Yeah.
Like, Joss Whedon has this villain, the Mayor, in season 3 of Buffy, who's one of my favorite little Whedon creations, because, yeah, he's, like, evil, but he's also, like, just so polite and well-mannered. And he's like, language. Watch your language. So maybe that tied into the language thing in this movie. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
That
yeah,
was
like,
good.
Yeah. Oh, that was so fucking funny. But
That was a funny
he's
kind of joke.
yeah, like he'll like murder people and he starts like these blood sacrifices and stuff, and he's like, all right, so we're going to Norms or whatever. Like he's just like the goofiest thing, but he's like happened to be 100-year-old warlock.
Oh wow. Yeah.
You know, and Ultron is very reminiscent of Whedon
Yeah.
and his Whedonisms, and I love that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But even
They
as a
kind of
character,
talk the same.
oh, he told Joss Whedon just is Ultron. Like that's just him talking, like all the time with James Spader. But yeah, no, Joss Whedon's someone I could listen to forever because he's so eloquent
Yeah.
and he has so much like to say, and I just like
I would love to do.
I love you. You know, it's
I would
like
Yeah,
love to
I like
talk
his
to him.
graspy voice. Or how's he talking? He's a
oh, he's so
gravelly
graspy,
voice.
and he's like, oh,
Did he smoke cigarettes? when he was
Maybe
younger?
I don't know. I mean, if I was. I would smoke a lot of cigarettes if I was this stressful of a project. I'd
If
be
I
like,
had a voice like this.
yeah. Well, not like the Michael Caine thing though, where it's like, oh, the whiskey and the brandy, you know, like they start really grating on your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But way off topic. All right, let's just. I mean, anything else you want to talk about Age of Ultron specifically? What we start theorizing before Phase 3?
I really like the new Avengers lineup.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
It has more diversity.
Yeah.
Instead of all white people.
It's not a bunch of white guys named
I was
Chris.
so excited when they announced the new Avengers facility. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, yes, we get to see like the Avengers like spread apart.
Is that supposed to be
more
like
deep-
Avengers Academy, like in the
Yeah.
comics? Or
Basically,
Okay.
yeah. So, and I loved how Cap and Black Widow were talking and like, well, it's not like 100 Yankees, but it'll do.
Yeah.
And then like it's like, all right, well, let's whip him into shape.
I think it's so fucking funny because it's like you just got the fucking vision. How are you gonna whip him into shape? You know?
Yeah.
Teach them how to be human.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Be more Avenger-y.
yeah. I'm thinking physically, but yeah, no, you could see so much more potential as characters with these
Yeah.
guys too, and it's cool to see War Machine finally an Avenger.
Finally. Like in a movie that's not Iron Man, it's
Yeah.
so cool that
Right.
they're open to have him more now.
I mean, I love in Iron Man 3 how it's Tony telling his story to Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people like Pepper and Rhodey kick more ass than he does. And then someone noted that like, oh, well, in your own version of your own story, you see other people as your heroes. And I was like, oh, Iron Man 3 is a gift that keeps on giving. But anyways, yeah, I love this new lineup. I mean, some people are like, oh, not everything needs to be about diversity. I don't give a fuck what you have to say, first of all. But I mean, it's like imagine if it was just a bunch of it was a bunch of black guys instead of white people everywhere.
Yeah.
White people would be like, well, I kind of want to see a white hero in there. Like if that was all there was.
Yeah.
Just see it from someone else's perspective. So I think it's great that you have 2 women now on the team.
Yes.
2 black guys.
Yes.
An android for the android phones.
And then Captain America.
And Captain America
Who just
for
represents everyone.
Yeah, who represents the best of people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is a great lineup.
I love this team. I'm so excited to see this in Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope they open up with another cold open where it's
Yeah.
just like them working as a team for the first time,
Yeah.
or like or they've been working as a team because I think the Marvel movies more or less take place, consequently of each other. Just like the movies,
Yeah.
when the movies come out, that's when the story takes.
like
Right.
years. If it's been 2 years, that's like okay, 2 years have passed already. So this
Yeah.
is where they're at in 2 years.
Yeah. So like the Avengers have been working together.
For like a
More,
year or
yeah,
something.
for like a year since the end of Winter Soldier. They're like,
Oh,
I think
that's true,
that was the rough plan. Was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
after Winter Soldier,
Makes
Cap was
sense.
like, guys, help.
Yeah.
Right.
We need each other.
Yeah, but I was thinking it's kind of funny. Like after that, this new lineup, they're all great characters, but it's like, yeah, everyone else is gone. I need everyone else who's available this weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
I think it'd be great to see Scarlet Witch's development too, because her other half's gone. Quicksilver's gone. Her brother's dead.
Yeah.
I was going to say she goes from like hating the Avengers to being an Avenger.
Yeah, it's a great arc. I mean, even if Quicksilver didn't die, it would have been a great arc.
Oh yeah.
And I like that she's the one to kill Ultron's final form.
Yeah.
And then
Vision.
no,
But then Vision was
final
the one
form.
that- yeah.
Like, Vision's
To
the one that
like-
killed the final
to stop
bot.
his final form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that for a quick second then too, because I love that scene. It's just
It's great.
Vision is seeing like the best in humanity. Like, no, they're not perfect. Yeah, they're doomed. But I think it's more of a metaphorical thing than literal. Like,
Oh, they'll.
yeah, they're not perfect,
Yeah.
but I think you missed the beauty and simplicity.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, you're unbearably naive," and he gets the perfect final line to him, where he's like, "Well, I was born yesterday." That is great. Like,
That was awesome.
that is so good. I love that so much. I'm gonna cry. Yeah, and then just that dichotomy between the characters, where it's like, oh, one only sees the terribleness, and the other one's like, yeah, it gets bad sometimes, but there's good here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you missed everything. You suck. Die.
It's like, die.
Yeah. I asked some people on Twitter to give their quick thoughts on it because I think we have to wrap up soon. I don't know.
I got like 5 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Oh, wait,
After that, he'll charge you.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ava Davis says, worst movie ever made. Thank you, Ava. And then Derek said, Ava speaks the truth. Okay.
Wow.
It's like the better age was Age of Adeline.
Yeah, that's the weirdest Marvel movie yet.
Yeah.
No, and then at Graham Harwell says it improves on the first one in all the right ways. A film of this size being as good as it is makes it special.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The fact that this movie even works in any capacity would have been
Yeah.
incredible.
Yes.
Now it works as gangbusters. I'm so happy. And then at RexZilla69, hi Kevin, says a clusterfuck of awesomeness. And yeah, it really is.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I think some of the reasons that the big action stuff doesn't hit as hard as the first one is because the first one took its time to get there. Age of Ultron's like, here's our opening shot.
Yeah.
Here's your big epic hero shot from the trailer. Here is everything else. Like, the action is there and it's awesome to look at. But it doesn't have a lot of breathing room, which is fine
Yeah.
because it's such a fast-paced movie.
It's a middle movie. You know?
Yeah, it's a middle movie.
It's a middle
and
movie.
you get all the awesome stuff. It's just, it's not as focused on. Because now we're seeing, can these guys stand each other? And yes, they can when they have to.
Yeah.
Now we're going to see some fallout with Civil War stuff. So,
Yeah.
who do you think is going to be on whose team for Civil War?
I can't see.
Gene, you can't say anything.
I can't see Iron Man and War Machine breaking up.
I can't either, actually. No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna have War Machine on Iron Man's side for sure. Scarlet Witch with Captain America because she spent the most time with him.
Yeah. Like Scarlet Witch, Vision, Captain America, I think for sure. are gonna be a
The
team.
Falcon, of course, is going to be on
Falcon,
Cap.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe-
Black Widow. I can't see Black Widow going either way.
Yeah, I can see Black Widow maybe changing sides.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she'll start out in
Right.
Cap, and then when Tony talks to her, she'll see like, okay, maybe we need to present ourselves better.
Mhm.
Or she'll
Right.
go to Iron Man's side.
Maybe she'll try to atone and go to Tony's side or something,
Right.
you know? Because
Yeah.
that's her whole thing. She's like, I got to make up for killing everyone.
Right.
Maybe, yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is that like maybe like what we're saying is like, you know, it's maybe they'll start off in that way, but I think later on when like these characters are like converting with one another, when they talk to each other, you know, maybe we will see them converting to other sides. So that's what happened in Civil War too.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you got to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
first of all, I want it to be a Cap movie still.
Yeah.
I
And
know,
from
yeah.
what my understanding is that whether or not what Gene and I read was true, everyone's saying who knows the what's
It's
is
not
that
too.
it's not too heavy Tony Stark's side. He's a supporting.
Well, I was going to say
he's not a co-star.
It doesn't feel like Captain America's just in a Civil War movie.
Yeah, it's a Captain
Okay.
America movie
First.
with Avengers stuff in it.
That
Okay.
happens, yeah.
Which
Alright.
is good because I trust the Russo brothers after Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Arguably
definitely.
the best one.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Um,
Spider-Man could be in there.
Spider-Man. Yeah,
I see
think,
him-
I think he's gonna have a
I
cameo.
hope with Cap.
No, well, I think what's gonna happen is that, you know, I think Iron Man's gonna convert him first, and then they'll do exactly like in the
Just
comic
don't
books.
reveal his secret
Yeah,
identity.
no,
No, yeah.
I've never
And then
liked
at least
that.
one more day.
Oh god, no! That's the first Spider-Man movie. One more day. Imagine.
Oh.
He's starting at the bottom, so you can only go up from there.
Right.
No, but I want.
But you know what? It wouldn't be worse than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, it wouldn't. But at least Amazing Spider-Man 2 had the Rhino, and I like that stuff.
Okay.
I know everyone hates it. I like it, and I hate the movie,
It
so
was-
vice versa.
You know what? You know, a lot of people hated the ending for Amazing Spider-Man 2. I liked it because to me it felt like a comic book ending.
Right.
Yeah,
me.
I liked it too,
was-
and I hated the
liked
movie.
the ending.
Out
I'll
of
say
context, I
that.
like the Rhino stuff. In context, I'm like, this is all fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But now, in that universe, Spider-Man just got fucking killed by the Rhino. Rhino just shot him in the face.
And then they shot the Rhino in the face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then that
he,
universe
like-
is over.
He like missed with that little sewer thing and just like boom,
Yeah,
right into the horn.
He just got impaled, and then the cops killed the Rhino, and then they
Because
saw.
he started gloating with his armor off.
Yeah,
And then that led him back to Oscorp.
yeah, and then they
They
arrested Harry Osborn again and took all the Sinister Six stuff, and so that universe is
And
done.
they realized, hey,
And then Galactus ate it.
And then
Yeah.
Galactus, yeah,
Yeah,
he went home.
and then shit it out.
hey, these costumes are terrible. Who designed these?
So like, no, this universe is a bad taste.
It gave him the shits.
It's like, man, and then we're going to build like the cinematic universe out of this. What the heck?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess there's still so much more to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be here for another 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any final thoughts? Phase 3 predictions?
I'm really excited to see the Black Panther.
Oh my God,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
That's probably the most excited I've am for a Phase 3 movie besides Infinity Wars
Yeah.
and Civil War.
Well, he's a good like character. He's like
Yeah.
Batman for Marvel.
Yeah, he's Marvel's Batman, but like, I think he's maybe a little bit cooler. Don't
No,
hurt
he's not.
me.
Nah.
No, but like, he's just so fucking cool. I mean, he's got like his old country to run. He's royalty. He's like human Thor.
Yeah.
But I want this. I want him to be just fucking like Swagger McSwaggerson. You know?
And then a lot of people don't realize he's an excellent fighter as well.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
If anything, he's a lot better fighter than Captain America.
Yeah, he could take
Well,
Cap.
Yeah, he could take
Yeah,
Cap.
I know he beat
yeah.
Cap a couple times.
Yeah.
in
I
the
mean,
comics.
I haven't seen all of Earth's Mightiest Heroes yet, the animated series.
It's great.
So
It
good.
is very good. It took me a little while to get it past the animation, It's a little
Yeah, it
clunky.
got canceled.
But
Yeah.
there's some excellent Black Panther stuff
Yeah,
going
he's
on.
one of
in
the
show.
best characters.
Yeah.
In there.
Oh yeah.
Want to see Ant-Man on the Avengers?
Dude, we're gonna see Ant-Man.
Oh yeah.
Which means, and he's in Civil War, so we can get
Yes.
the Ant-Man Hawkeye wombo combo when Ant-Man sits on his arrow and then
Oh,
he
yeah.
launches it and then he gets in front of someone. Boom!
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's cool.
can't wait.
If
for
we don't
that.
see that, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed.
Right.
Or see him like on like Cap's shield and just like
Right.
just right when it's spinning, boom.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean that's
Um,
pretty much gonna wrap it up for us
I was
here.
gonna say oh sorry.
No, go ahead. Come on.
This is like
Yeah.
the Oscars.
The music's playing off, but
I have to get used to this eventually.
hurry up.
Yeah, and you know what's really good? Was it? Fuck.
You should tell me what's really good.
No, it's on my mind.
All right.
You're kidding me.
I guess on next time, man. The
Next time
episode.
I'll remember what I said.
Next time, baby.
Next time.
Oh yes.
Sorry, Terrence Howard. Don Cheadle's way cooler than you. Yeah, I guess it's going to wrap it up for us here at the Waffle Press Podcast, here at Understated Comics in Uptown Whittier. You guys want to go ahead and sign off?
I'm Renee.
Gene.
And I'm Diego Crespo. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Lots of cool stuff coming out for May. We have been the Waffle Press Podcast again. Check us out on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, everything. We have been professionally unprofessional.